My name is Emily Turner. I'm 31 years old, and what I'm about to share with you isn't something I ever thought would happen to me. A story of love, temptation, betrayal, and a passion I never knew I could feel. It was bigger, stronger, and beyond anything I ever imagined. You're about to hear how a simple act of kindness led me to a point of no return, and how the love I thought I had suddenly wasn't enough. And this all started with Noah. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that like button if you've ever been in a situation where you felt pulled in two directions. Let's get into it. It seemed like my life was everything I had dreamed of. Jason, and my college sweetheart, was everything I thought I wanted. Reliable, calm, safe. Our house was perfect, our days predictable, and from the outside, it was flawless. But here's what nobody saw. In the silence of our days, I began to feel something stirring inside me. Something I couldn't ignore anymore. It was the craving for more, something deeper than routine. I'd wake up next to Jason, watch him sleep, and wonder when the last time was that he really looked at me. Not just glanced, but truly saw me. When did we stop talking about dreams and start only talking about bills? Noah had always been around, Jason's best friend, but now, every time I looked at him, something was different. Where Jason was cautious, Noah was bold. His presence sparked something in me I couldn't suppress, and that's when everything started to shift. Noah's charm was effortless, his touch, his smile. They pulled me in slowly, like a wave inching closer with every word he spoke. I felt seen, heard, things I hadn't felt in a long time. When Noah walked into a room, the air changed. He had this way of making you feel like you were the only person who mattered. If you're starting to feel the tension in the air, comment below and let me know if you've ever been in a situation where things weren't what they seemed at first glance. At first, it was simple. Noah would stop by to fix things, and we'd talk, real conversations. I found myself looking forward to it. He listened when no one else did. I felt like I was rediscovering parts of myself that I thought I had lost. Parts of me that Jason never even knew existed. We'd laugh about old memories, talk about music, movies, dreams we'd abandoned. Noah remembered things about me that even I had forgotten, like how I used to paint on weekends, how I loved thunderstorms, how I always wanted to travel to Italy. Jason never asked about those things anymore. But when Noah touched my arm to pass the screwdriver, something shifted. A simple touch that lingered too long, sending my heart racing. One night, as he fixed the faucet, I handed him a drink, and our fingers brushed. It wasn't just a touch. It was a spark. A spark that lit a fire I wasn't prepared to feel. My breath hitched, and for a moment, time seemed to freeze. I could feel the heat radiating from his skin. I stepped back, telling myself it was nothing. But deep down, I knew something had changed. A moment that could never be undone. That night, I lay awake next to Jason, feeling like a stranger in my own bed. Noah's touch was still there, burning on my skin like a brand. I told myself I was being ridiculous, that it meant nothing. Hit the like button if you've ever felt that spark you couldn't ignore, no matter how much you tried. The temptation grew stronger with each passing day. When Jason left for work, Noah came by again. The air between us was thick with something unspoken. The pull was undeniable, and I stopped fighting it. We were standing in the kitchen, talking about nothing important, when our eyes met, really met. And in that moment, I saw everything I'd been missing. Before I knew it, I leaned in, and our lips met. In that moment, everything I knew, everything I believed about loyalty and love, seemed to fade away. I was no longer the woman who waited for her husband. I was someone else, someone I didn't recognize. The kiss was electric. Noah's hands were in my hair, my back pressed against the counter, and nothing else existed. Not Jason, not our marriage, not the vows I'd made, just Noah. And the way he made me feel alive. alive in a way I'd forgotten was possible. When we finally pulled apart, we were both breathless. Neither of us said a word. What was there to say? We both knew what had just happened. We both knew there was no going back. The days that followed were filled with guilt, but also desire. Every stolen touch, every glance shared with Noah made me question everything. Jason still had no idea, but I couldn't keep this secret forever. The love I had for Jason felt small compared to the wild, untamed passion I shared with Noah. I loved Jason in my own quiet way, but Noah awakened something in me that I couldn't ignore, something primal, something real. With Jason, everything was planned, scheduled, predictable. Our intimacy felt like checking off a box on a to-do list, but with Noah, it was fire. It was spontaneous, dangerous, consuming. When Noah looked at me, I felt beautiful. When he touched me, I felt wanted. When he spoke to me, I felt understood. Comment below if you've ever been torn between love and passion. Which would you choose? Jason was gone again, and Noah came over. We joked, we laughed, and then the air shifted. No more talking, no more playing it safe. This time, we both knew what was happening. The kiss was a declaration, a choice neither of us was ready to make, but both of us were making anyway. Noah lifted me onto the counter, his hands everywhere, his breath hot against my neck. I wrapped my legs around him, pulling him closer, wanting more. But with each kiss, each touch, I felt a part of me slipping away from the life I had built. The woman I was with Jason didn't exist anymore. I had become someone new, someone driven by desire. We spent the afternoon tangled together, breathless and reckless. Every moment felt stolen, forbidden, and somehow that made it even more intense. Noah whispered things that made my skin flush, made my heart race. He told me I was beautiful, that he'd wanted this for so long, that he couldn't stop thinking about me. And God help me, I believed him. I wanted to believe him, because believing him meant this wasn't just lust. It meant this was real. When Jason returned, I tried to pretend everything was normal, but the weight of my secret pressed on me. Noah's touch still lingered on my skin. I knew I was trapped. In my heart, I had already chosen. But how would I ever face the consequences? I couldn't look Jason in the eye. When he kissed me hello, I felt sick. When he asked about my day, I lied. When he reached for me at night, I turned away, claiming I was tired. But I wasn't tired. I was ashamed. And yet, I wasn't sorry. Not really. Because what I found with Noah was worth the guilt. It was worth the risk. It was worth everything. Share this story if you think it's important to understand the consequences of following your heart when it goes against everything you've built. The truth will come out eventually. I don't know how or when, but I can't keep living in this lie. I'm caught between the safety of my old life and the burning desire that Noah's awakened in me. One choice could tear everything apart, but is it worth it? Every time I see Noah now, the tension is unbearable. We steal glances when Jason isn't looking. We find excuses to be alone. We text in code, delete the messages, live in constant fear of being discovered. But we can't stop. I can't stop. Because when I'm with Noah, I feel like myself, the real me, not the version of me that became Jason's wife, his companion, his routine. What I do know is that what I found with Noah was real, raw, powerful, and it was bigger, stronger, and beyond anything I ever imagined. It's a truth that can either save me or destroy me. But for now, I'm stuck in the middle, waiting for the storm to hit. Sometimes I wonder if Jason knows, if he can sense the distance between us, if he can smell Noah's cologne on my clothes, taste the lies on my lips. Sometimes I think he does know, and he's just too afraid to confront it, too afraid to lose what we've built. But what we've built is already broken. I broke it. I think about the future constantly now. What happens when this secret explodes? What happens when Jason finds out? What happens to our home, our life, our history together? And what happens with Noah? Is this just passion that will burn out, or is it real love, the kind that lasts? Noah says he loves me. He says he's loved me for years, watching from the sidelines, wishing I was his. And when he says it, I want to believe him. I want to believe this is worth it, that I'm not throwing away everything for nothing. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know how this story unfolds, and leave a comment on what you think I should do next. Do I come clean or keep living this lie? Part of me wants to confess everything, to sit Jason down and tell him the truth, to set us both free from this marriage that's become a prison. But another part of me is terrified of the hurt in his eyes, terrified of losing everything I've known, terrified that Noah will disappear once the reality sets in. What if this passion only exists because it's forbidden? What if the thrill is what makes it feel so alive? What happens when there's no more sneaking around, no more stolen moments, no more danger? I know I can't have both. I can't keep Jason's safety and Noah's fire. I have to choose. And whichever choice I make, someone gets hurt. Maybe everyone gets hurt. Maybe I hurt most of all. But I also know I can't go back to the way things were. I can't pretend I don't feel what I feel, and I can't unknow what I now know about myself. That I'm capable of this kind of passion, that I'm capable of this kind of betrayal, that I'm capable of wanting something so badly that I'd risk everything. Thank you for joining me in this wild, emotional journey. Please, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Your support means the world to me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you would have done if you were in my shoes. Because right now, I'm standing at the edge of a cliff, and I have to decide whether to jump or step back, whether to follow my heart or honor my vows, whether to choose passion or choose safety. And honestly, I don't know which one is right. I just know that whatever happens next, nothing will ever be the same. My name is Emily Turner, and this is my truth.